Okay, good. Just making sure Do Not Disturb was on. So this is a late video, so if I sound a little tired, that's why. It is 8:36 p.m. So today we're looking at lesson 1-7C, solving linear inequalities. Today's learning target is I can solve an inequality by using the properties to solve an equation. So when you're solving an inequality, it's actually just like solving an equation. There's still the whole PCVNA technique if you want to use that. And there's one big thing. If you multiply or divide by a negative number to both sides of your inequality, to both sides, I'm going to say that, then your inequality sign flips. So if I started with, like, say, x greater than 3, it becomes x less than 3 or something, okay? Just give me the heads up. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be solving it, putting it on a number line, and doing it in interval notation. Remember, interval notation we are going to be going over throughout the whole course of the year. So if you're not 100% with it now, you will be 100% with it by June. So let's look at our first inequality. Our first inequality is 3x plus 8 is greater than 23. So my pencil's been glitching for the past few hours, just a heads up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a PCVNA to the left of it. And I'm going to ask myself, do I have parentheses? Nope. Can I combine a 3x and an 8? Nope. Are all my variables on one side? Yup. Are all my numbers on the other? Nope. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides of my inequality. And I now do 23 minus 8, which is 15. So I get 3x greater than 15. Now I need to get rid of that number attached to my x. And I need to remember, how do I do that? I think it's by doing division. So I'm going to divide both sides of my inequality by 3, and then I get x is greater than 5. So now if I were to put that on a number line, I simply draw my number line. I put a 5 smack dab in the middle. Is that an open circle or a closed circle? It's an open circle because I'm saying greater than, not greater than or equal to. And since I'm doing x greater than 5, I'm going to shade in this direction. So I just shade in this direction, and that's my final answer. Now, I'm starting with the number 5, and I'm going all the way to the right. So I'm not going to negative infinity, I'm going to positive infinity. So I have a positive infinity. We know we always end infinity with a parenthesis, and now I have to ask myself, is this going to be a parenthesis or a bracket? Well, since I'm not including 5 as a solution to my inequality, this is going to be a parenthesis. So this is how we'd write this answer in interval notation. Number 2's inequality. 1 minus 4x is less than 13. So I have my PCVNA. So I now have 1 minus 4x less than 13. I have to ask myself, do I have parentheses? Nope. I do not have parentheses, so I cross it out. Can I combine any like terms? Nope, can't combine them. Are all my variables on one side? Yup. Are all my numbers on the other? Nope. So I got to get this 1 over there. So I'm going to subtract 1, and I get negative 4x less than 12. Now I need to divide both sides of my inequality by the number attached to my x. So I'm going to divide both sides of my inequality by negative 4. So I divide by negative 4, I get x. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. But remember, I just divided by a negative. So I'm going to flip my inequality. So when I graph this, I'm really graphing x is greater than negative 3. So I'm going to now draw my number line. I'm going to put my negative 3 smack dab in the middle. I'm going to put an open circle on it because it's not greater than or equal to. And since I'm doing x greater than negative 3, I'm going to shade in this direction. So I'm going to shade like this. And just a little reminder, we're going to put our infinity right here and our negative infinity right here. That way we know what interval we're doing for our interval notation. If you look, I'm starting with negative 3. And that's an open circle, so a parenthesis, and now I'm ending with infinity. And we know infinity always ends with a parenthesis, just like negative infinity. Number 3, we're going to do our PCVNA technique. And I have 6W plus 7. What is wrong with my Apple Pencil today? Greater than or equal to 10W plus 2. So I have to ask myself, do I have parentheses? I do not. Can I combine like terms? No, can't combine them. Are all my variables on one side? They are not. So I'm going to subtract 10W from both sides of my inequality. 6W minus 10W is negative 4W plus 7 greater than or equal to 2. Now all my variables are on one side. I'm now going to get rid of my 7 by bringing it over to the right side of my inequality by using subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 7, subtract 7. 1 second, let me just make sure. 6W plus 7 greater than or equal to 6 minus 10. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now 2 minus 7 is negative 5, so I have negative 4W greater than or equal to negative 5. Now, I need to get rid of that negative 4, so I'm going to divide. So I divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, and I'm going to keep it as a fraction. So I have W, and then negative 5 over negative 4 is going to be a 5 over 4. But since I divided by a negative, I'm going to flip my inequality. So I get W is less than or equal to 5 over 4. Now we're going to sketch this on a number line. So I put my 5 over 4 smack dab in the middle. Just making sure something, yep. I put my 5 over 4 smack dab in the middle. Now, since I'm doing less than or equal to, I'm going to shade in this direction. But I have to ask myself, is this an open circle or closed circle? It's a closed circle. And I'm going to shade to the left. And that's my final answer. Now to remember my negative infinity and my infinity. So, since I'm starting actually with negative infinity, I'm going to do my negative infinity first. And then I'm going to do my 5 over 4. And since I'm including it, it's going to be a bracket. And that's my final answer. Number 4. I'm going to do a little PCVNA action. We have 4 times x plus 9, less than or equal to, my apologies, 3x plus 45. I do have parentheses, so I'm going to distribute my 4 to my x and my 4 to my 9. So I get 4x plus 36, less than or equal to 3x plus 45. Now I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides of my inequality. And I get x plus 36 less than or equal to 45. I have no parentheses. I combined my like terms. Well, I couldn't combine any. Variables are on one side. Now I need to get my numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract this 36 from both sides of my inequality. Subtract 36, and I get x is less than or equal to 9. Now the reason why I didn't flip my inequality was because I was not dividing by a negative number. So I just get x less than or equal to 9. Now that's what I'm going to put on my number line. I put a 9 smack dab in the middle. So I'm going to put my 9 right here. Again, we have negative infinity and infinity. Is this going to be an open circle or a closed circle? Ooh, why is it a rectangle? It's going to be a closed circle. So shade that circle in because you are including 9 to your solution. And then I'm going to shade to the left. So if you look, I'm starting with negative infinity, which is going to be a parenthesis. And then I end with 9. And since I'm including it, it's going to be a bracket. And that's your final answer. So please make sure that you do your independent practice, which is 2 solving inequalities. If you have any questions, email myself or Miss Townsend.